Now we're going to get to question 3 on page 319. So you have price equal to 400 minus 3/4 cube, okay? And MC is equal to 40 plus 1/2 cube. And the question is, solve for the price and quantity, okay? So almost quite routine for most of us. And then the second question, and draw a diagram and label the consumer surplus, producer surplus, and calculate consumer surplus and producer surplus under monopoly. And the part D, find a socially optimal level of output and price and label these on your graph with QSO and PSO. And question E, calculate the producer surplus and consumer surplus at a
老师，
social. Okay. Question.
你没有分享画面。
Oh, sorry. So let me hold on. Thank you. So get it? Okay, sorry. And so basically, the last part F, calculate the deadweight loss. Explain the proportion of the deadweight loss is loss in consumer surplus and what proportion is a loss in producer surplus. Because drawing the diagram is not that easy. So anyway, let me try this first. Sorry, it's not easy to control the mouse. So, and the price is here, right? So this is the demand curve. So let me see how much it's going to be. Well, I will try my best, but anyway. Okay, it's going to be something like this. Anyway. And so because we have two different cases. The first one is a monopoly. Okay, the second one is a perfect competition. So then, anyway, let's get to marginal cost first. So if it is 40, right? And then how much is going to be? Anyway, something like this. Sorry. Okay. So this is MC. Okay. And this is demand is equal to AR. So if it is marginal cost equals price, that is the solution for a perfect competition. So let me mark it C. The question say SO anyway. C is even better. So perfect competition. Okay, C competitive. And so let's try to figure out what is the quantity here and price here. So then it's going to be 400 minus 3/4 Q is equal to 40 plus 1/2 Q. Okay. So then what you get? You get 360 is equal to 4 5/4 Q. Okay. So how much is that? Well, anyway, 72, right? So Q is equal to 288. So here it is 288. And the price, can someone help me with the price? If Q is equal to 288, do I get it wrong? It should be right. Okay. So if Q is 288, how much is the price? Hong Kai-xuan, give me a guess. If Q is equal to 288, what would be the price?
P 等于256。
Are you sure?
等一下啊，12对，36对34。
34?
34。
Anyway, let's work it out together. So it's 400, right? Minus 3/4 times 288, right? Okay. So that would be 72. And 3 times this one will be 316. Okay, 400 minus 216. So that would be 184. 184. Okay. So this is the case for a perfect competition. Okay, this is the case for perfect competition. Now we want to get to monopoly. Okay. And here is equal to 40. Okay. So that is all for the monopoly's case. For the monopoly case, you get to MR, right? So the total revenue will be 400Q minus 3/4 Q squared. So then the marginal revenue is going to be equal to 400 minus 3/2 Q, and it is equal to 40 plus 1/2 Q. So 2Q is equal to 360. Q is equal to 160. Okay, then how much will be the price? So here, price is equal to, let me figure that out, 40, 45, so it's 145, 135. So then the price is equal to 265. Okay, so for the monopoly's case, okay, the production level is 180, and the price is equal to 265. Okay, so now, how much is here? Here is 400. So we have several questions to ask. The first one, consumer surplus under monopoly, okay, and also producer surplus under monopoly. And then the other question is producer surplus under perfect competition, and also consumer surplus under perfect competition. Let's get to it one by one. So first, let's try the perfect competition case. Okay. So if it is perfect competition, right? Consumer surplus is this area. Okay. Producer surplus is this whole triangle. So here is 184, and then here 400, and then here it is 288. Okay. And producer surplus is this area. So 184 and 40, and then here it is the quantity is 288. So this triangle, and then this triangle, the upper triangle is the consumer surplus under perfect competition, and this lower triangle is the producer surplus under perfect competition. And now let's get to monopoly. Let me use this. So when it is monopoly, okay, consumer surplus is this area. Okay, this is for consumer surplus. And what about producer surplus? Producer surplus, okay, so now we need to remember the definition for producer surplus. The amount the producer actually gets, and the amount that producer surplus is willing to get. Okay, so here this is the price, 265. That is the price the producer actually gets. And how much is the producer willing to accept? The producer is willing to accept at the marginal cost. Okay, so 265 is the price the monopolist monopolist actually gets, and as a matter of fact, he's willing to accept at the marginal cost here. So you see the total area. So this rectangle, so this rectangle, okay, plus this trapezoid, okay, is equal to, okay, this rectangle plus this trapezoid is equal to the producer surplus here. 林玉祥，林玉祥，林玉祥 ，Where are you？
喂，
高教练 ，OK， 林玉祥
嘿，
，What is a trapezoid？
啊，
What is a trapezoid？
梯形，
Okay, good. So is this area, okay? And what is a deadweight loss? A deadweight loss is not for producer or not for consumer. So remember that we say, well, I run out of the counter. So anyway, this big triangle, right? This big triangle is consumer surplus under perfect competition. And this small triangle is the producer surplus under perfect competition. And we say this little triangle, okay, is consumer surplus under monopoly. And this whole area, okay, this whole area is the producer surplus under monopoly. So there's one area that is not part of consumer surplus or producer surplus under monopoly, and no one gets it. Okay, no one gets it. So that's the reason we call it deadweight loss, because the higher price and the lower quantity force the consumer to forget about part of their benefit, and also producer forget part of their profits. So it is here. Okay, this triangle. Okay. So if you have the number or you have the price, you have the quantity here. So here is 400, 265, 184, 40, and then you have quantity 180 here. You have quantity 288 here. So here is 288. So with all these numbers, you should be able to calculate. Okay, you should be able to calculate. Uh, you know, all the necessary information, including producer surplus and consumer surplus on both under perfect completion and sorry, have I take a recording? Gosh, let me see. Okay, sounds like I have done that. Okay, good. Anyway, so if you have all the price or the quantity, you should be able to get to the deadweight loss, okay, the consumer surplus under perfect completion and monopoly, and the producer surplus under perfect completion and monopoly. Okay. So a little bit complicated, but um, it's just a matter of calculation. If you can figure out all the corresponding price and quantity. Okay. Questions? Questions? Now we will get to question 19 on page 321. Question 19 on page 321. Okay. So the question is, consider the linear demand curve P is equal to 160 minus 4Q. Okay, P is equal to 160 minus 4Q. Okay, what we're going to do in this question is a little bit different from what we have done before, but it's the same thing, dealing with price discrimination. Okay, the third degree price discrimination. Remember that when we talk about a firm and monopolies with two factories, so you would have MC1 equal MCB, sorry, MC2, okay, equal to MR, okay? And now the story is that we have two markets. So you have MR1, okay, equal to MR2, okay, equal to MC. And the important part is what is equal to MR? It is equal to P, okay, times 1 over the absolute value of elasticity. And so what does that mean? Because in this case, you have MR1, you have MR2, right? So the price for the first market, okay, is equal to the price of the second market. And then here it is, okay, the price elasticity of the first market. And here it is the price elasticity of the second market. And remember that this is an absolute value. Okay. So basically, this is what we're going to do. Okay. So let me erase part of it. Okay. So the question say when P is equal to 120, okay, or 80, or sorry, 60. What would be the price elasticity? Okay. Of course, we are looking for absolute value. So Wang Ziqi, is Wang Ziqi here? Wang Ziqi. Okay, 叶一方。
在
Okay. So here, the question is, when P is equal to 120, what is the price of elasticity of demand? Can you tell me how to calculate it? When P is equal to 120, what is the price elasticity of demand? Okay, when price is equal to 120, what is the elasticity? Okay, answer.
不知道
Do you remember what is elasticity? Elasticity
按
is
谢谢
equal to, okay, dq dp and q over p, right? 叶一方, is that right?
yes
So what is the price elasticity of demand when price is equal to 120? Can you get it?
no
郑一林, when price is equal to 120,
嗯
what is the price elasticity of demand? 郑一林,
是要先对 Q 为分，就是等
okay,
我一下
yes. So how are we going to do? So probably you're going to rearrange it. Okay, so here you need to have 4Q, right?
等于160减 P
Yes, exactly. Okay, and then what we're going to have?
Q
We're
等
going to
于
Q is equal to
40
40 minus. Okay, okay. So what is the
等于负1/4
excuse me?
DQ 等于负1/4
Okay, and then
乘以120/10
okay. If P is equal to 120, right? Is equal to 120, so that would be equal to 10. Okay. So how much is that? Oh gosh, it's not a good number. So here the elasticity is negative 1/48, right? Okay. So Ye Yifang, do you get it? This is how to calculate it. So when price is equal to 80, how much is the price elasticity of demand? Ye Yifang?
20
Excuse me? So it's going to be equal to 1/4, right? And times here, the price is 80. So how much is the quantity? Price is 80. How much is the quantity?
20
Okay, 20. So it is gonna be, let us see, how much is that? Okay, 1 negative 16. Okay, so when price is equal to 60, okay, Huang Xiuhui, when price is equal to 60, how much is the elasticity? It's gonna be here, right? And 60.
老师，
有
那个弹性不是乘以 Q 分之 P 吗？
Hold on, can you say that again?
就是弹性它不是乘以底 P 分之底 Q， 然后再乘以 Q 分之 P 吗？
Oh, sorry.
所以数字
All right. Yes. Sorry. Hold on. So, sorry, I made a mistake. So we have to. Thank you. My fault. Sorry. Anyway. Okay, so here we have to erase it. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna get back to the what we have. So here dp, sorry, dq dp, right? That is equal to 1 quarter, okay? And q, sorry, p is 120. And how much is q again? How much do we get? Q 120, 10, right? 10. So here it is equal to negative 3. Okay, negative 3. Okay. And now let's get to the second part. So, Xie Xinyu, is you told me the mistake?
对。
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Thank you. So here we are talking about 80, right? So 1 quarter, and price is equal to 80. And how much is here? 20, right? 20. So that's equal to 1, right? Negative 1. Okay. And now 60. So the same thing, 1 quarter. Okay, the price is 60 and is equal to 25. Right? So how much is going to be? So it's negative 15. So it's 3/5. Okay. So this is what we get. Question 19. It said consider the linear demand curve P is equal to 160 minus 4Q and solve for the elasticity at P is equal to 120, 80, and 60. And using calculus for twice a steep rule, solve for the marginal revenue of the curve. And you want to verify that marginal revenue is equal to the formula. I'm going to do that for you. So hold on for a second. Okay, what you're going to do is to, okay, let me erase this. Oh, sorry. So what you're going to do is to verify marginal revenue of the first one is equal to P1, okay, times 1 minus 1 over absolute value of this, okay, and MR2, okay, is equal to P2 minus 1 minus 1 over the second elasticity. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So then so let's try here to see if it is the same. So this is the first, right? You have P1 and times 1 minus 1 over elasticity 1 absolute value, and equal to P2 times 1 minus 1 over elasticity 2. Okay, so here you have 120, okay, times 1 minus 1 over 3, okay, is equal to P2, that is 80, right? Oh gosh, there's going to be something wrong here, right? Oh, hold on. When we get to 80, we say the price of elasticity is equal to -1. Is that right? Then we're going to be get into trouble because this is going to be equal to 0, right? Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. In the book, the part C actually, let me write down the formula of part C is a little bit different. It's kind of interesting. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. So let me put down the formula. How many of you have the book? How many of you have the book? Sounds like not many, right? Okay, let me put down the formula. It said MR, okay, is equal to, okay, P times 1 plus E over EP, and then is equal to P times 1 minus 1 over EP absolute value. It's kind of interesting. There seems to be something wrong here. Let me check a little bit. This is chapter 11. Chapter 11, question 19. It sounds like quite interesting. So let us see what's going on. Here we have, let us use this one. Okay, so it's 80. But anyway, it's going to be 0, right? It's going to be 0. Let me see what's going on. Hold on for a second. It's kind of interesting. So, okay, let me check it here. So here is negative 1/3, right? Negative 1/3. So what you get? So hold on, let me erase this part. Okay, as I say, this is what's written in the book. Okay, it's the question for part C. Okay, and so if we're going to use that, so price is equal to 120. Okay, here price is equal to 120, right? And it's 1 plus 1 over elasticity of demand. So what's that? 1 minus 1 over 3, right? So let us see how much is that. So it's 120, okay, times 2 over 3. So what's that? That is equal to 80, right? So you have here price, okay, plug it here. And then it is 1 plus, okay, 1 over EP. So that is equal to 1/3, okay, negative 1/3 actually. So here's what you get. And then it is equal to 80, right? So where is 80? 80 is exactly here. Okay, 80 is exactly here. So it's kind of interesting. Let me repeat this, okay, I say, in the third degree of price discrimination, what you're going to have is MR1, okay, is equal to P1, okay, times 1 minus 1 over elasticity of the first market, okay? And then that should be equal to the price of the second market, okay, 1 over 1 minus elasticity of the second market absolute value. Okay, this is what I say. And this is what you're going to have in the final. Okay, but for the question 19 at page 321 is kind of interesting. Okay, so it is something quite different here. At this point, I can't quite figure out what's going on, but it is interesting, right? Because you have price 120, okay, and minus 1/3 here, right? And so here you have, you see this? There is no absolute value here. Okay, there is no absolute value here. So because the elasticity is equal to negative, and it is equal to 3, negative 3. So 1 over negative 3. So this is what you have. And so you have 120 minus 2/3. So what you get? 80, the price. It's kind of interesting. So a little bit different from the third degree price discrimination that I'm talking about, okay, in class. Okay, so very interesting exercise, but it's not that easy that you want to figure it out. Okay. So questions. So we only have about 7 minutes left. Okay, if you want to do some more exercise, you can try question 20. Okay, question 20 on page 321. Okay, question 20 on 321. That is basically the same thing about question 3 on page 319 that we have done. So let me briefly review a little bit what is going to happen in your final. Okay, there's going to be cost function, okay, and production function. Also, there's going to be questions on the pricing of perfect competition and pricing of monopoly and perfect competition, the comparison, okay, comparing monopoly, okay, and perfect competition. And that's what we have done a little bit today on the consumer surplus power, a producer surplus power, and the deadweight loss. And the other important part is game theory. So you have pure strategy game theory and also mixed strategy game theory. So you need to solve for the equilibrium, okay, and what the equilibrium looks like, and in terms of mixed strategy, what's the probability? What's the probability you're going to use your strategy? So this is basically for your midterm. Sorry, for your final exam. And thank you for your attention for the whole semester. And this is gonna be almost the end of it. So, any questions? Any questions? 谢欣佑 questions?
No.
叶一方 questions?
No.
王秀慧 questions?
No.
Farah questions?
Yes. I
Okay,
want
good.
to ask.
Go ahead.
For the final exam, the material start from chapter 7 or this chapter?
Oh, okay. Chapter. Let me check. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna start from chapter 7. Yes, chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10, chapter 11, chapter 12, chapter 13. So from chapter 7 to chapter 13. And we have done game theory, right? So there's a lot of things that you need to review a little bit, pure strategy and mixed strategy. Okay. So Farah, any more questions?
No.
Okay, good. So good luck to your final. Please attend the class on time next week. We're going to start the exam on 1:30 sharp. Thank you. Good luck to your final and have a good summer.